of black people. It's all about the unity. There's nothing they can do with us, so ain't nobody.
In a state of emergency. Wrote a song about it.
Stand by for countdown. Prepare audience for maximum impact. Full immersion begins in
a state of emergency. Prejudice.
Set in Philadelphia, follow Camille Ebony as she discovers the woman she was meant to be in the blink of an eye, seemingly when her marriage, career, and life get rearranged, when a cool stranger enters the mix. She realizes for the first time in her life that she is able to throw caution to the wind and just be herself without any label or duties attached. All things must come to an end, though, and once again Camille finds herself taking on the requirements now of wife and mother. But when she is called upon to do one more favor, the journey to the heart of the matter continues, and she comes face to face with the realities of the girl she once was, the person she has wanted to be, and the woman she is. On the road to self-discovery, Camille soon realizes there must be some casualties.
Morals are just, subjective. But when you have laws and things on paper that say, if you do this, we're going to punish you by incarcerating you, and you break them and you're dumb enough to get caught, then you're just dumb.
All right. Shout out to Reality's Temple in the building. Well, just for I got to get him on here, man. You talk about somebody polarizing. Whoa. that brother is, I'll leave that alone. Shout out to the brother, though. Just
becomes the first of the divas to offer the world her singular sound. And she does just that on Southern Gal.
and that is Brother Taalik from the Reality Temples on Earth channel. And if you get a chance to subscribe, please do subscribe to his channel. He's a good brother. You know, he's doing good work, and he wants to do good constructive things. He has good information to provide. So please do check out his channel if you get a chance.
This message. Hey, my brother, you know I had to call you and thank you personally again. I cannot describe to you how happy I was to meet you in person, finally. That was just like amazing.
But you, a lot of your video content to me was very informative. You know, the things you talked about had substance, man. And I first really knew about you because of JT Rowley 1, Real Nigga News, and you and him got into a conflict with each other. And when I did my website, you were the only brother, and let me stress that, because when I did that website, blackcommune.net, and I did the video and I asked the black YouTube community, the so-called black YouTube community, to give me your videos, because at the time a lot of brothers were getting flagged and videos taken down. So I said, you know what, you can put your videos on my website so that the message can still be heard for all to hear. You know, something like, you know, a little I made that website for everyone, but you were the only one that gave me permission to use your videos, and I thought that was very honorable of you and really a testament to how much you cared about the black community.
This all-new 5-DVD 9-hour documentary is a researcher's dream come true. Oh my God. It's an educational masterpiece.
Welcome to the Reality's Temple on Earth. My name is Jeroen, and I would like to say that Angel Snub7 isn't a racist at all. He's a good friend, and I owe him a lot of support, and I would like to say that we have one common goal, and that is psychiatry is worst scam on earth, okay?
Black people, it's all about the unity. There's nothing they can do with us, so ain't nobody
in a state of emergency. Prejudice. Wrote a song about it? Like to hear it? Here it go. Free your mind.
What dear?
Cause I keeps it real like that. I keeps it real.
Gomane. Assemble the people, Gomane. We will not be defeated by witch doctors' illusions.
anyway, I'm done. So, don't expect me to be on YouTube all the time, and because but none of you are helping me out. I have to go to work every day. I have to go to work, to make money, and none of y'all are dropping me $5 or nothing in my Cash App or nothing. So don't expect me to come on here making videos all the time, because that's not gonna happen. Like I said, it takes a lot of energy to come on here and talk and make videos and put together, presentations, and all of that take time and energy. I mean, don't expect me to come on here talking and carrying on.
Now, just because someone may be off or they may misspeak or miscalculate does not mean that they are wrong in the gist of what they are conveying. Because now I'm seeing all of these videos popping up and accusing others of being false prophets because things did not play out to a science in the way that the people had originally stated. And I'm telling you, you can go back and read what I've written in my blog, you can look at my videos, and I'm looking right at you. I'm not backing down. I'm not apologizing for nothing, because I'm 100% have no doubt that what I put out and what many others have said is true. Reality is far more fluid than meets the eye. We shape reality and outcome based on what the general consensus, the collective thought of the people. Collectively in this reality, we are creating our reality. Here's why those who know this and understand this want to manipulate and control the mind of the masses to get us to unconsciously consent to a reality that they either suggest or plant in our minds to begin with, or that they frighten or manipulate us or use some kind of carrot or some kind of incentive into co-creating.
Hi, family. No matter what, hold your ground.
Stand your ground.
You are more powerful than you know.
Right.
Hold your ground.
Absolutely.
If you don't hold your ground, your energy diminishing, going down. Your energy is diminishing, it's going down. So you aiding on the dark side, so they say. I don't get caught up in that. But you need to hold your ground. And here's to a cup of water, sweet tea. Yeah. Hold your ground. A brighter tomorrow is coming.
It is.
A brighter tomorrow is coming. Hold your ground.
Peace forever and always. I'm Angel Snub 7. And of course, this is the Reality's Temple on Earth. I would like to just take a moment, a brief moment of your time, if you would allow me, to respond to the video that was shown to us prior to my appearance, some words from our soul brother, Astro Boo Baby. I would like to give him and his greetings and the utmost respect. We see things differently, but he is my brother and his sister is my sister. And I want to say, and we've been following each other for a little while. And of course, we vary in opinion and difference. But what we do certainly agree upon is that this reality must change. This life that we're living, this existence that we live, it's got to change. And it's going to change. But there's only one way that it can change. And we want to talk about that real quick. I want to respond to our brother's words. And I do not want him or anyone to believe that I'm just picking on this brother and his words or his beliefs or opinion, however you want to bring that. I'm speaking in general because not only this brother, but many in the thousands and millions, if not billions, believe in spirituality and religion and these things that is outside of what they call the flesh, the soul, the spirit, conscious energy. These are what we believe. And we play around and we seek other sources to prove what we're talking about. I'm not including myself because I reject all spirituality. I reject all religion. I respect you as a person, but that mindset I cannot embrace because it's not real. Yet you talk reality, that's not real. If it was real, it could be easily proven as an apple, as YouTube or Facebook, whatever media that you're using, a car on the road, it could be easily proven. You shouldn't have to go all out your way. There's a reason why it's called belief. It's a reason why you have to have faith in the unseen because it don't exist. And so you have to use your imagination like the Temptations used to sing. It's just my imagination once again. Your imagination. And you want to make your imagination reality. Where did you get this thought process from? From another man. Because we was born into this world knowing nothing. Somebody programmed us to think in this manner. It wasn't a God. It wasn't a demon. It wasn't somebody from another dimension, another reality. It was a flesh and blood, man or woman, that caused us to begin thinking and walking in this type of manner. This is fact. This just did not come out of your head for no reason. Somebody directed you towards this. It's a taught and learned behavior. And if you believe in something long enough, even if it's not real, you'll begin to believe it like it's real. There are those in insane asylums all over the world. In their mind, it is real. But they are insane because in this reality that we all know, and it's the only one that we know. There is no other. There is no your reality. There is no my reality. We don't have different realities. There's only one. There's not thousands of different realities. There's only one that we know of, except in your imagination. The reality of Spider-Man, that was somebody's reality, but it's called fiction. It's called fantasy. It's called fairy tales and fables. The difference when we grasp religion and spirituality, what we do, we try to make imagination real. It's just like trying to make Spider-Man or Batman or the Flintstones or somebody real in reality, and they are not. They are figments and the creations of men's imagination. You cannot show no other difference than that. And this is why, and it's been going on for a little while, and it is time, more and more people are becoming self-thinkers. And becoming a self-thinker means that you begin to reject these limited forms of thought, these thoughts that enslave the mind, that make you not flexible in the only reality that you know. So more and more people are rejecting religion. More and more people are rejecting spirituality. And the only reason why much of this religion and spirituality exists was because it was forced. This mindset, this thinking was forced upon the masses for thousands and thousands of years. Those who rejected, those who challenged this fantasy, these fairy tales and this fiction, they were made mockery of, they were ostracized, and sometimes at the most extreme, they were murdered. And so this mindset was passed on from generation to generation. Unnatural. Because if you did not teach your children, if somebody did not teach you these things, you would not be talking it. I guarantee this. We were taught these things by a man, not a demon, not a spook or spirit, not from some alien from another dimension coming through some portal. A flesh and blood living person, not nobody from the dead, taught us these things. Everything that we know came from a living flesh and blood person. Not no God or Most High or some creator. Men, women taught us these things. And it all comes from the imagination of men. That's why it sounds like something that man created. Because that's all you know. You don't know nothing outside of men. So you call God a man. And everything you reference to is through the eyes of men. You don't know nothing else. Your dimensions and your different realities, whatever, is still related to flesh and blood men, because that's all that you know. You can't bring something different to the table because it's from the imagination of men, the creation of men, and that's all we know is men. The elephant don't have the intelligence to influence you, or the goat, or the flea. It comes from the imagination of men. So more and more people are rejecting religion. More and more people are not going to these houses of worship to serve this invisible, never show himself or herself or itself God. Never. Out of all these thousands of years, You would think God would make one good appearance so that we can verify the Most High, the Creator existence. Not one. It's all hearsay information. People who claim they talked to God. I was inspired by God. It was revealed to me, but they never met, never seen this God. It's incredible, though, some of these revelations and some of this inspiration. We're not saying that it's not good information or beneficial information. It's coming from the minds of men. It's not coming from God. The Creator, God, Allah, Jesus, these are the manifestations of the imagination of the brain coming from men that we have been forced to believe is reality, and it's not. So even in the Catholic Church, they are having problems recruiting nuns and priests. You don't see young people supporting the church like they used to. People believe in God, they believe in the Creator, but they're not obsessed, they're not loyal like they used to be. So, of course, even though the numbers are dwindling, these beliefs have been around for thousands of years. So unless something on a high level, traumatic level, if that does not happen, these things will stick around for a long, long time. But they're going to leave because it's time. It's time for us to get out of these archaic, childish, immature belief systems. It's time for us to let go of these lies, because that's really what it is. It's a bunch of lies. We got to call it for what it is. It's lies. So I believe the brother and many others who are spiritual, and I'm going to say not only the election process, but I'm going to refer to many things. They prophesize and Donald Trump supposed to be president and Biden won and all these people now they've been called false prophets, and this is upsetting to many of them, being called out for their miscalculations. And the brother is trying to say, or trying to justify miscalculation. Would you feel the same if it was a heart surgeon that made the miscalculation? Because if that surgeon miscalculated, you could be a dead person. Or if your auto mechanic or the person who's doing the plumbing in your house, if the plumber miscalculate, water gonna be all over the place. If the auto repair people miscalculate, your car could mess around and blow up. But you want us to accept the fact that you can't accept the fact that you was wrong. It was a miscalculation. Miscalculation has consequences. You can miscalculate and you can get a second chance. Like in this case, you're nothing but entertainment. It's not real anyway. So another excuse is, well, our mistake is trying to be specific. No, your mistake is pretending that you are some kind of prophet. Pretending that you know what's going to happen tomorrow when you can barely know what's going to happen today in your own personal life. So the Bible plays it safe. The Bible says no man knows the hour. And the Bible talks about all these different things that's going to happen in the future, but it does not mention no names. So the people in Israel said, we are the chosen people of God. And then you have Hebrew Israelites telling us that we're the chosen people of God, because as long as you think you can fit this particular criteria, you can make that claim, because the Bible or the Quran does not talk specifics. The prophets do not talk specifics. And the reason why you talk specifics, because chances are you don't know what the hell you're talking about. I can be a prophet myself if I don't have to talk specifics. And so people are not as ignorant and loyal to these belief systems as they used to be. And they see that you don't know what you're talking about. Thousands of years have passed by. And the Bible said this and the Quran said this. And many of these things come to pass, but you're not specific. And just because I could say that you could die in a car accident. It's possible. The probability is high because we live in a society and we are always walking around cars and parking lots and on the streets. I can prophesy that you could be hit by a car and you could get seriously injured or die. But I'm not talking specifics. So as long anybody can be a prophet, anybody can pretend like they know what's going to happen in the future and all these different things when you're not talking specifics. What's the sense of being a prophet? What's the sense of telling the future and you can't be specific? Because you don't know. You are guessing. You are assuming. It's a theory of yours. You're talking in general about something, the probability it could happen. And anybody can guess. Anybody could, not just you. So the sad thing is, in the video, instead of taking responsibility for what you said, and again, I'm not just talking about this brother, but it's many false prophets, as they say. Instead of taking responsibility and to say that you was wrong, not miscalculated, you was wrong. And you hoping that somewhere down in the future, you be right. That all of a sudden, fraud charges, some new information is going to come out of nowhere, and Biden is not going to be president, and they're going to throw Donald Trump back into that seat, and all like that. Instead of saying, well, at this time, hey, I was wrong. But we are so arrogant in ourselves because we want to show off in front of other people who believe the way we do, because they look up to you like you have some kind of special power. You are a divine individual. There's something special about you. You was born special. You different from everybody else. Well, you're not that much different because you make mistakes and you can be wrong. But instead of saying I miscalculated, instead of saying I was wrong, you did say you made a miscalculation. No, you was wrong. You was wrong. You did not well, you did miscalculate, but you was wrong. But instead of taking responsibility, hey, I was wrong. Instead of taking responsibility, we want to make excuses and be loyal to the wrong. Oh, see, wow. And in your wrong, you think that your reward is supposed to be right. That's not how it works. When you stand on wrong, when you stand on lies and falsehood and bad character and poor integrity, your reward is going to reflect what you built, what you make. You want to stand on your imaginary prophecy. You want to stand on your fantasy, fiction, and your fairy tales. Stand my ground. I don't stand ground on wrong. I don't stand ground on lies. I'm not going to stand wrong on miscalculation. I'm going to tell you, hey, I don't know. I'm going to accept and embrace. I'm not going to stand my ground and be loyal to wrong. Then we speak about reality. Like there are many different kinds of reality. There's only one reality. Anything else is your imagination. And in your imagination, you can have all the realities you want. But there's only one. The reality that you come into this world and the reality that you're going to leave this world. That's a fact. All the other stuff, when you die, you're going to turn into conscious energy and fly around the universe and go to different dimensions. That's your imagination. That's not reality. Because if it was reality, you shouldn't have a hard time proving it. Of course, there's a lot of things that we do not know. And I'd rather say, I do not know. I'm not going to sit here and tell you a bunch of manufactured, fabricated lies to make you believe that I know. There's only one reality. And so it is said that the powers that be, or the wicked folks, the unrighteous folks, and if you don't have the integrity to accept responsibility when you are wrong, you are going to be loyal to error and flaw. What make you any better? What make you any different from those who you talk about? Because that's what they are. They are error. They are flaw. They are deception. And you're not no better because you stand on your wrong. You want to make excuses for your wrong, your miscalculation, for your not being specific. So you learned the lesson. I'm not going to be specific next time. So if you're not going to be specific, what are you prophesying about? What are you prophetic about? What makes you special? What makes you divine? What makes you have this divine talent that you're talking about? If you can't be specific. It's just imagination, fairy tales, fabrication, lies is deceit. And because you can get away with that because so many of us, thousands and millions of us, have been programmed to accept fantasy, fairy tales, and cartoons as reality. And it's not real. And you get angry because somebody will challenge you on these things. You want to get it. I'm not trying to convince nobody of nothing. I'm not trying to convert. Yes, you are. Otherwise, you wouldn't be opening your mouth. Yes, you are. You wouldn't be getting so upset. We can tell when you get upset. Yes, you are. And all these spiritual folks, all these religious folks, they want to convert you and get angry and upset because you reject their fairy tales, their prophecy, their imaginary gods and spirits and demons and spooks. There's only one reality. So they go on to talk about the powers that be want you and me to accept their reality. There's only one reality. They can't make nobody accept nothing. because reality is what it is. However, they can condition you. There's a difference between a condition of life and reality. They can influence. They can influence. They can manipulate you to accept and embrace a conditioning. But that's not reality. Nobody has control of reality. If they can control reality, that means if they don't want to breathe air, they can control that. I don't have to breathe air no more. I don't have to eat. I can live forever. And see, that's the thing about the imagination. In your imagination, you don't never die. Cows die, fleas die, ticks die, dogs die, cats die, but human beings, oh no, you special. You conscious energy. Energy never dies, which that's false. That's a fallacy. Energy does die. A fire is energy, but it goes out once the fuel that was feeding it goes out. And then whatever is left, if something else can use it, then they will use that to continue the process of recycling, and then it begins something brand new. But the old dies out. It goes away. Just like the Bible said, grass cometh up, then it withereth away. And that's energy. Life is energy. It all dies. In this reality, you die, but you don't want to accept death. And you're afraid of the unknown. So you fabricate these stories, these imaginary stories, and you got all these powers and all, so that you can avoid death, which is fine. Makes you feel comfortable. But that's not reality. And we need to stop telling these lies that it is reality. It's a condition, because that's not real. Reality is easy to explain most times, because there's a lot of things we just don't know. But reality is easier to explain because it's right there in front of your face. Don't take a lot. But if it comes from your imagination, how does Spider-Man swing and there's no buildings? But if you look at the Spider-Man cartoon and a lot of these places where you see Spider-Man, he just using his web and he's slinging around. Where is he? How is he spinning these webs? There's no buildings. Where is he? Like, what is it? But that's fantasy. That's cartoons. And so in the Bible and Quran, you see all this incredible stuff. And in spirituality, you see all this and experience all this stuff, because in your imagination, anything is possible. In your imagination. In reality, some of the things that was our imagination, some of the things are real now. But it's not real until you make it real. And so, again, it's not real till you make it real. And so we think in religion and spirituality with that mindset, I don't know, something is just going to come out the sky. Something is just going to change the world and make things a better place. It was men who put us in this condition. Not elephants, not alligators, not crocodiles, not whales, not octopus. It was men that put us in this condition. And it's going to take men, not those children worshiping cartoons, looking in the sky, waiting for an imaginary, for Casper the Friendly Ghost. and Star Trek, beam me up, Scotty. It's going to take men who live in reality, who reject fairy tales and spookism, to challenge the men that put us in this condition, because there are many who don't mind. There's nothing wrong with the world for they're concerned. They eat good. They don't have no problems. They like things just the way they are. Dr. Martin Luther King said this, and I would say in my conclusion, the reason why evil exists is because good men do nothing. That's our problem. The reason why we live in this condition is not reality. It's part of reality. The condition is part of this reality, but it's not reality because we can change it because it's a condition. Now, we don't control earthquakes. We don't control tornadoes. We don't control floods, things of nature. The reality is that is what goes on this planet. Hurricanes and earthquakes and floods and thunderstorms, blizzards. That's just the functioning of this planet. That's the reality. However, if you want to live in a floodplain, that's your business. So you set up something artificial to keep the water out. That's a condition. That's not reality, because the reality was all this was covered by water, and you built all these dams and set all this stuff up. So it can't be what it's supposed to be. Instead of working with nature, we work against nature and make things unnatural, and our lives is unrealistic. We live unnatural, unrealistic lives. Because we condition, because it's a condition that we made. It's not reality. Because I guarantee you, if we was more in accord with the nature of this planet, the reality of this planet, we would be doing much, much better. But because we are unnatural, we suffer a lot. So now you have a dominant people on the top who can tolerate and don't mind this condition. So they will fight you tooth and nail to keep it here. And you are a good person, but you do nothing. Yet the Bible says, and the Quran talks about, we're supposed to be soldiers. Onward Christian soldiers. A soldier means it's somebody that must fight. What are you fighting? You're fighting against the unrighteous people. You are fighting against the unnatural. To bring back into existence what is in the best interest of the human family and the earth and the animal life on this planet. Taking good responsibility, being a good shepherd. But you don't want to fight. It's easier to wait on Jesus for 2,000 years. It's easy to wait on a spaceship. It's easy to think about, oh, when I die, I'm going to turn into some energy. It's easier to do that than challenge the men, the powers that be, that keep us in this raggedy, suffering condition. That's what it's about. Making it easy. Because it will not be easy to remove the wicked from power. And you don't want that responsibility. You want to give it to some invisible demon or whatever. It was men who put us in this condition. It's going to be men who take us out. So whenever you get to the point where I stood all I can stand, I cannot stand no more. That's the only way it's going to change. Right now, you living in your fairy tales, and even though you miscalculated, you doing all right, and you comfortable in this cesspool, in this septic tank. But when the people get sick and tired of being sick and tired, I stood all I can stand, I can't stand no more, it will change. I don't see it in my lifetime, but it will change. Either it will change or the human family, regardless of your race, gonna go extinct. And maybe that's for the better. Because then the planet can return back to its reality, to what it really is supposed to be. And the deer would be happy, and the moose, and the skunk, and the wolves, they can go back to their natural way of life. There's a show called Life After People. People just disappear. And everything returned right back to the way it was before men messed it up. Because men live unnatural. Men are unrealistic. Men are materialistic, violent and destructive, intelligent children. And that's why you love these fairy tale stories. Make up believe Superman, Batman, and Iron Man, Jesus, Thor, conscious energy. You love make-believe and fantasy. So until you change, there won't be a change. And you're going to keep making miscalculations until you accept reality. Accept reality, my friend, is much easier. Believe me. On that note, thank you for listening. Jot down your comments, subscribe, like. And until next time, as Don Cornelius used to always tell us in parting, I wish us love, peace, and so we are the 5,000. I have? No, I don't have that. Okay.
My black people, it's all about the unity. There's nothing they can do with us, so ain't nobody who
things that make you go, you know, these aren't jokes, these are thoughts, these are things that make you say,
Free your mind.